Hello my loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, my name is Jess and I have a message for you. This message actually came to me I think about 2 or 3 days ago. I am not one who comes on and runs to the internet and immediately posts messages or channeled visions that I'm receiving, because that would be irresponsible. I always like to sit with it and bring it to the divine and talk to the divine about it and ask, where does this message go? Where does it apply? And also to give me the words, the discernment, and the strength to be able to translate that message in its full accuracy in the way that divine intended over to you guys. And I've been doing that since a baby, like since a little child, before YouTube was even a thing. So I did, luckily for me and easily for me, I actually wrote it down in my notes. It was like 4:44 in the morning. I'm not even kidding. I woke up and the message was so clear. It was so obvious. It was so loud. It was so striking because I didn't even have a chance to really wake my eyes up, and wake my full energy up. It was presented to me so quick. And I sat with it, and now's the time for me to post it. So you'll see me looking down on my phone, but also keep in mind that the exact notes that I wrote were from a 4:44 a.m. channeling time. So I was a bit groggy, and again, like I said, I wasn't fully awake. So the question that the vision that I saw as soon as I woke up was a vision of a snake. And snakes are very telling because usually they bring messages about healing and medicine and transformation. But as I looked at it, there was so much wrapped around the energy of this snake, and by so much I mean the message. There was so much of a message wrapped around the energy of the snake, and usually it actually takes me some time to kind of process what this information is, but it was an immediate download. So the question was, is a snake inauthentic or a sellout for shedding its skin and respecting how it was time to change? I want to read that again. Is it being inauthentic or considered a sellout for shedding its skin and respecting how it has been, how it's time to change, or that it received the signal to change? So Spirit right away is bringing us individually and very intimately into a place where we are being expected to change, to shift, to transform, and to respect that process. We're being led into that. Or if you're watching this video, you're being led into the season of radical and drastic, unbelievable change. It is time. This is not something that you might have ushered in. It just feels like the divine actually led you to the point where every step that you took, no matter what direction you would have walked into, it would have brought you to the same place. A moment in your life, a moment in the space where it's time for you to embrace the energy of your own transformation. And some of that, it's interesting that the divine is saying, wants to call in the idea of it being inauthentic or feeling an energy of selling out, because that's a very unique perspective. That's a very unique confrontation. If I'm changing, and if I'm honoring my change, if I'm honoring the season of change that Spirit has led me to in my life, and I am pivoting away from how people have known me, or how I show up for my family, or how I've shown up in my relationships, or how I've even shown up as myself, have I been inauthentic in those past previous states of being that I showed up in? Or would I be, if I change, is this a departure from who I am as a person? So Spirit really wants to talk to you about that and ask you to lean into this. Spirit says it's the outside layer. The outside layer may have changed. Something new may have been revealed. The snake heard that call, moved through the uncomfortability of this needed change, and embraced the natural season of its own transformation. So let me continue on. Sorry guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. Spirit is asking you to do the same thing, or to prepare yourself for a new season of evolution to begin to creep up towards you. You're being guided to take your time and become keenly aware of what parts of you are itching to evolve and transform. Don't ignore that feeling. Lean into it and get quiet with it. What is it revealing to you? How open can you become with what your transformation is asking of you now? There's meant to be parts of you that you will need to face the unknown because something new is happening. When it's time, your old skin, your old reality, your old habits, etc. will slowly begin to peel away. You'll actually find ways to irritate this process because the irritation is actually going to provide you with relief. This too needs to happen. Migrate to places that respect this process. Migrate to the people who honor your time of shifting, including foods and energies that support this reveal. Spirit says that they're in this midst of transformation. It is authentic and major that you embrace it with no expectations of yourself, with no expectations of others, and no expectations. And look at that, guys, 4:44 on the clock at the very top. So there's this emphasis on the energy 444 because it was 4:44 a.m. that I woke up and actually began to start my day. That's when this message came through. So, and whenever Spirit shows up and wakes me from my sleep, I don't fight that. Sleep is something that I can always come back to, but that message is important. And that is not something that you can really gain back. When Spirit speaks, you listen. So it's interesting that Spirit wants to let you know that your transformation right now is super authentic, and that if there are parts of you that you are walking away from, that is actually very authentic. It's not that you are departing from parts of yourself. Even if those parts of you have shaped you into the person that you're being right now, it's actually makes sense that you begin to remove the past lessons and remove past expectations, or remove how you showed up and removed how you would speak and even move in order to honor this next season in your life. It's authentic. So someone was battling with feeling fake or plastic, or even maybe questioning, is this who I am? Who was that? Who was that I was before? So that's a very specific message. Also, I found it so interesting and so beautiful that Spirit said that you will actually look to find places to irritate yourself to help you through this transformation process. And it's interesting because as human beings, we're creatures of habit. We don't like to rock the boat. We don't like to change things up or deviate from our path. We like to keep our status quo. As creatures that love community and need community, it's not in our nature to defy the community, to defy others, to separate ourselves from others. But Spirit is actually leading you into a space where you might even you might need to irritate, like there might be some fighting or there might be some conflict that you will have to prepare yourself for in this period of transformation, whether this conflict or whether this tension is coming from external sources or even your internal source. Maybe you are battling with yourself and what this transformation is causing you to face within yourself. Parts of you that you have left behind, or parts of you that you don't have access to, parts of you that you won't allow yourself to see, to view, because for you your identity has been on being strong and holding it together, and Spirit is now leading you into a new season of vulnerability and softness, and that's not a part of how you how you have always identified as yourself. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. So you may look back. It's so funny, guys, because I'm talking to you right now. And there are two pigeons that are like digging around me, like digging off on this side, like they're getting closer and closer. I'm just surprised that they trust me right now. Because they're definitely wild pigeons. Maybe for those of you guys that don't know, I actually raised a baby bird. A storm kind of knocked the baby out of the nest, and we ended up taking it in and set him free. So I don't know if this is actually that bird and it recognizes my voice, but there's two of them together. Anyways, guys, I got a little distracted. If you know, you know. My head is, my mind kind of goes with the flow. So what was I saying? Yeah, so there might be parts of you that how you've shown up before was very authentic to you. There's nothing about that who you were or who you are now that was inauthentic or not moving with integrity, that's how you needed to show up. That's part of yourself that you were understanding, or parts of you that needed to be that. And now that you're here, there's a part of you that is unfolding. There's a part of you that is starting to feel the sense of, listen, I'm going to have to actually irritate the situation to understand if I belong here, if I'm supposed to stay here, or if the irritation is going to move me into a new place, if the irritation is going to show me who is actually for me, if the irritation is going to help me reveal who I am actually to my core. And every single part of those things, and every single part of that irritation process has been authentic and valuable and very true to you. And you are not just one expectation, you are not one label, you are all of those things. Okay, so yeah, then there's this really interesting message here about quieting yourself through this transformation and quieting yourself through the irritation. What parts of you, as you are transforming, what parts of you need attention right now? What parts of you need to really be seen and held and understood? And the way to understand is by being quiet and being open to listening. Sometimes we fill up space with our words, with our thoughts, with an explanation. Are you comfortable in this healing part of your journey and being quiet and listening and asking questions? That was something too that came up during the recent Costa Rica trip that I was leading the women there. Is, listen, you have an expectation for how this retreat will be. Not that that expectation won't be fulfilled, but spirit moves beyond our own expectations here. And if you are open up your mind, there are a lot of parts of you that are going to get called into question, and you'll begin to see from a new lens, a new perspective. And for many of you guys here, your transformation is going to come from doing just that. So thank you to the divine for bringing that message to me. Thank you for showing up to receive it. And I want to really give you guys a lot of gratitude for being here with me now. If you're in passing and you just receive this message and move on, it was an honor to be able to deliver this message to you. I invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, but also no pressure. Please give this video a thumbs up. A little bit of pressure there because it does help the algorithm and just shows appreciation for the effort and the work, my dedication to the divine and delivering these messages to you guys. I really appreciate that. But until then, you guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.